And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, Mr. MartyAlvin!
Saturday night, I was first in line. My gastronomic juices were flowing. I was giddy with anticipation. Another year of Michigania's award-winning kitchen. Could the food and presentation get any better? Before entering the dining hall, I was presented with a form to sign. A waiver of liability. I was nonplussed. This would ruin the culinary experience for every camper. I myself contacted risk management. I told them that even an untrained monkey would understand that anyone sampling the fare at Michigania assumes the risk of infectious disease and dental damage. They agreed. The ornate etching adorning the doorway marking the menu sent me reeling. Finally, the kitchen opted for whitefish, caught in the shimmering waters of the Michigania's north. The cod, haddock, and flake were kept where they belonged, in the freezer. Renowned for their firm flesh and sweet succulence, the Michigania kitchen filleted the fresh jewels, lightly dredged them with flour, and in classic preparation, quickly sauteed them in butter until nut-like in appearance. At this stage, the innovative kitchen took the beautifully prepared fillets and warmed them in a 450-degree oven for 40 minutes. It used to be a rule of thumb that fish was done when the flesh would flake apart at the touch of a fork. At Michigania, the flakes snapped apart. The kitchen had been converted to allow campers to serve themselves. I soon spotted the marvel of new technology. They looked like normal stainless steel warming trays, perched above their sterno flames. They were used throughout the week in the dining room and the new waterfront bistro. The trays, though, were not what they seemed. At the Saturday night meal, the flank steaks were carved on a bias at the end of the table. The juices protruded from the slightly pink beef, and the steam wafted above. Similarly, the burgers and hot dogs grilled at the bistro were plump and tender. These foodstuffs were then artfully plated into the 21st century trays. Like magic, the meats were devoid of juice. Any sense of tenderness was gone. Like a ravenous paper towel, they sopped up any semblance of flavor. The piping hot entrees immediately morphed into lukewarm, except for the hot dogs, which with perfect grill marks, tasted slightly thawed. I meandered into the quaint soup room and spotted my favorite enamelware terrine, potage a la onion. The ethereal soup is only as good as the cheese which clings to each spoonful. I ladled the broth into the elaborate china bowl. I then scanned the room for the precious fromage. I spotted it at the end of the taco bar. Here again, the Michigania chefs showcase their brilliance. Swiss, Romano, Picano can all be graded by gadgetry that changes daily. There are graters, rasps, and if fine slices are desired, mandolins. The 4-star chefs at camp opted for a new grinding wheel at the Nature Center. This pulverized the product into a fine dust. When added to the soup, it enveloped into a cloud-like, viscous substance that never merged with the soup and never melted. The chalk-like texture made my abdominal cavity shiver. The new vogue in American cookery borrows from an old Sicilian methodology. It involves using bricks to weigh down items while they're grilling. For example, a roasting chicken is cut down the breastbone and flattened out. It's seasoned and put over white-hot coals. Bricks are then placed over the birds while cooking. This results in the skin being stretched and crisping evenly across the whole bird. The Michigania kitchen maniacally toyed with this technique. Rather than use it on meat or poultry, a different food was chosen. Spice cake can be delicious. The Michigania version was sublime. The bricks weighed down the cake, ensuring that it wouldn't rise and that each slice could be served seared and rare. The dead sponge texture was impenetrable from the camp's fine cutlery. Aromatics such as clove, cinnamon, and nutmeg were shunned. The focus was on the more esoteric herb, mace. Not being able to finish my meal, the staff graciously packed the wedge into a doggy bag. It was to die for. I know I can be pretentious, but my culinary elitism only masked my craving for the items I longed for as a kid. I longed for Wonder Bread. Morning, noon, and night. Imagine my shock when at Thursday night's dinner, I saw the shape that had been etched into my mind as a youth, transformed into uniform slices of turkey. I queried the purveyors of Michigania's foodstuffs. They indicated they only chose butterball-less turkeys. I wondered why the roast beef was spelled on the menu with a capital B. I soon learned. We were advised that rare or medium rare were not options because of liability. I chuckled as I adorned my slab with a healthy dollop of the horseradish sauce. I anxiously awaited my first bite. The knife deftly sliced through the rich sauce. But there it stopped. My wrists convulsed. My fingers cramped. There was no way I would be sampling the beef product. Lastly, the art auction is a waste of time. We could paint campers' names on wedges of roast beef and spice cake and use them as paving bricks to adorn the front walk of the dining hall. We could charge a fortune as they would last forever.